Hello everyone, great to see you guys and welcome to the video. Thanks for watching. So this video is going to be, I would say, a pretty extensive kind of analysis of my opinion on Bitcoin and kind of my investing strategy that I kind of want to share with everybody because I'm really, bullish on the price and I've been trying so hard a long time to try to convince people I know personally to try to invest, and they don't. And they're either too scared because A, they think the price is too volatile, or B, they just don't know the technology. If they knew the technology, they might have invested. But I want to help as many people as I can and give the most rational kind of explanation because I feel like a lot of YouTubers out there are way too bullish on price, and they're just hyping up all the cryptos, and it's like kind of like a perfect investment. Or as of course, there's always a risk involved, and I kind of want to give the most, logical, straightforward, non-biased approach to this whole thing. I'm not, sponsored by anybody. I'm not trying to sell any kind of product. I'm just trying to help people make a good investment. So the first thing I want to say is it's a very new technology, Bitcoin. And when I say Bitcoin, I'm thinking about all technologies in terms of cryptocurrency, at least the top 10, 20. I think those are the best investments you can make right now because they're more stable. But it's a very new technology. It's only 10 years old. Just hit its 10-year anniversary in January. There's so much potential. The technology is so amazing. The whole concept of decentralization and taking away power from the banks and kind of having control of your own money as kind of an inflationary hedge is so powerful. Currencies like XRP, Cardano, Ethereum, smart contracts, bringing power back to the people and creating a hedge against inflation and kind of a store of value. People who say Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, what makes that? There's no real logic behind that. The value that it has is backed by other people, what people perceive of it. That's the value of any item, right? And the US dollar is only valuable because people perceive it. They use it, they see its utility, and they put value in it. If nobody thought the US dollar was valuable, it would be worthless. Just like Bitcoin. People use Bitcoin, so it has value. There's a purpose for it. You can use it for transacting. You can send people money. You can buy things with it. You can get discounts with it. You can use it as an investment. There's lots of different ways to use it, and there's a lot of reasons behind it. So that's kind of my analysis on just in a nutshell of why I think this is a good investment. And before I kind of get into the technicalities of things and kind of the long-term price, I just want to say again that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm simply giving my opinion. I think I'm very bullish on the price. So a lot of people are very worried about the bear market, and people have tried to time this market very carefully. First we had, depends on when you got in. A lot of people watching probably got in at around 2017 in the December, January, maybe even November or October kind of bull run, which if you got in before November, you got a pretty good return on investment in Bitcoin. If you got into the altcoins, if you stayed until January and somehow sold and were able to sell at those levels, which honestly I was not, you probably made some good money, some very good money. So the whole idea is timing this market and when to buy. This is what I really want to help people with. I'm really referring to people who have not purchased yet. I bought my investment at 4,000. I was at 3,100, 3,500, holding for a few months, waiting for a dip because everybody was talking about a potential price decrease to 2,000 to 1,000, maybe even $900, which would have been amazing, but it didn't happen. And a lot of people said 3,000 was the bottom. Should have listened. I was trying to be greedy and too cheap and trying to get even better deal than 85% decrease. So I lost about a little bit of value. I'd say from 3,000 to 4,000, a lot of coins even doubled or went up 30%. It's a big deal. But, I'm happy that I bought in at 4,000. And to people watching who have not bought in, or the people who have bought in already, there's nothing better, no better than that feeling than having bought. Because I was so worried. Every day I'd wake up and check the price and say, oh, what price is Bitcoin at? What price is Cardano at? What price is Ethereum at? And just wait for a dip. And even when it dips sometimes, I still wouldn't buy. I'm like, it's going to go lower. It's going to go lower. And then I saw the price rise to 5,000 and I bought some more, and 4,000. So once I finally bought and made my full investment of what I was comfortable with, which I will tell you it's about 35% of total assets, which is a lot, but that's what I personally put in, it felt so much better. Now, if the price dips, I can comfortably buy a little bit more without having that fear. And that's what I think a lot of people relate to, the fear of the price going up. You're in that tough range where you want to get a good discount, even now at the $8,000 level. And you just got actually a break last week. It went to $7,000, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't buy then. So you have that kind of issue where you just don't know when to buy. You think the price will go lower, the market's manipulated, there are whales buying and selling. There's all these different reasons why the price can go up and down. You have YouTubers saying it's going to dump 50%, and then you have people saying it's going to go to 20,000, like Tom Lee on the news. He's very famous for kind of preaching Bitcoin. So all these different reasons you're not buying. I would, again, not financial advice, but I personally would recommend getting in as soon as possible, because if the price goes to 10,000 and then 12 and then back to 9, are you going to buy? Are you going to buy 15? At what point, it's the same mentality when it was 5,000. You had a good buy, but it was not 3,000 anymore. It was 5,000. So you're saying, I'm going to wait till it goes to 3. No, it goes to 8,000. Do you buy now? Then it goes to 12. So at what point is it okay? I mean, what happens if the price of Bitcoin goes to, you know what I'm trying to say. So the idea is that we have an opportunity right here, right around this price point, right here, 3,100 something, right? And a lot of people probably didn't buy. And we've seen a parabolic move here, a massive bull run, and now we're kind of standing here. This was unexpected, completely unexpected. A little bit of a dip here, but we saw some retracement today, huge retracement. So we're seeing some more stability in the price in the last month or few weeks than we saw in the last 2 months, certainly speaking. So at what point will you buy? I recommend buying now. If the price goes to 6,000, okay, you lost $2,000 or whatever how much you invested. If you were assuming you buy one Bitcoin, you lost $2,000. If it goes to 5,000, you lost $3,000. But when we're looking at the long-term horizon, I think in the next year, we could see it go to even 50, maybe 2 years, 50, 60K, maybe even 70 or 100. In the 5-year run, 3-year long-term run, could see over 150,000 plus or 200,000 plus dollars. So in reality, we're looking at a price target of, in the long run, right around here, right? And you're trying to save pennies here. So when we look at that, really, there's no excuse. I mean, if the price goes sky high, you are going to regret it forever, because you probably will never be able to buy Bitcoin at this price again. Assuming it hits these highs, assuming it does, and and let's just assume we have a bull run, a massive bull run that lasts a year, right? And it goes to 70K, and then it retraces back to 15,000 or 20,000, just like the normal bear market cycle, or whatever the price is. 85%, let's say it goes to 100,000, and it goes down 85%, so we got $15,000. That's what we could be looking at. So, it's just like, are you going to buy now? Are you going to wait? Anything can happen with this market. So the important thing is to try to get set. And if there are more dips in the future, just buy. If you want to, you can buy some more. You could just hold through. But in the end, you're just trying to save $1,000, $3,000, $500 to get a little bit of BTC. And I understand it makes a difference. I mean, if you were to get Bitcoin at half the price, that means your gains are 50% more. You could double your gains, which is a big deal. But in the end, you're going to make enough money. I think if this goes the way it should go and the way people think it is going, you'll make more than enough money. So there's no real reason to get cheap here. Hold through. Don't get bothered by these price swings that we see. I mean, of course, these are pretty large, but don't worry about these things. In the long run, you're probably going to see a huge return on investment. You just got to be patient, and I really don't recommend day trading. I think it's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Especially when the market's this manipulated, we really don't know what to expect. So even the best analyses, and that's why I don't like to do technical analysis too much. It is very useful, but at the same time, You know, very much based on like trends, and of course it does play some merit, but there's a lot of manipulation that can really hurt you in the short term in terms of day trading. So I'd be very careful with that. People lose a lot of money on BitMEX, longing and shorting Bitcoin. A lot of these orders get liquidated very quickly because of whale manipulation, and you could lose all your money in a second, in the blink of an eye. So just keep your money, just hold it. There's no rush. I think it's going to be plenty profitable. I would even buy XRP. That's a really good buy, and you can see my video in the description, as well as my Tether video that I put out, totally free, and it just kind of shows a very brief overview of patterns of Tether, and so this is kind of my outlook and strategy. Now, people give me the argument that Bitcoin is too volatile. Well, of course, it's a new technology, new asset. It's kind of had proof of concept over the last 10 years. I think it's really outgrown the haters and has really grown. It's the best performing asset of the decade, by far. And people really pay attention, I think, too much to this particular run here in the roughly, I guess, $3,000 mark all the way up until $20,000 range, or $1,000, which was the last bull run. People don't seem to know how to do math very well. And this is not to be offensive to anybody, but if you think about the price, $20,000, and we look at the low. So here's the top, roughly 19.5, right? 19.7. And then we look at 3.1 or 3.2. That's our bottom. That's our bottom in terms of our bull run and our bottom in the last year and a half, right? 85%, roughly speaking. I encourage you to look at some of the old Bitcoin charts here. And if we just kind of zoom in, this is back in, 2016. We're seeing very similar patterns in terms of decreases. I mean, I think back in 2011, Bitcoin was about, $30. At least in 2012, one of those years, Bitcoin was roughly at $30, and it went down to like $1. That was like the bear market. That's like a 90% decrease. So in reality, this has happened time and time again. The price just keeps increasing and decreasing in terms of larger numbers. So what's the difference between $30 and $1? That's probably even worse than $20,000 and $3,000. It was even more volatile then. So we're experiencing less volatility, I think, at higher price points. But in terms of a mathematical standpoint on your investment, there's no difference. People just think 20,000 is such a large number down to 3,000. But for some reason, $30 to $2 or whatever the case is doesn't seem to be as bad. But if you have $1,000 invested, you're going to lose the same percentage of money, maybe even more. It just matters how much you bought. The price is irrelevant in terms of your increase percentage and decrease percentage. What matters is the increase and the decrease, not the price. So if you buy Bitcoin at $20,000 and it goes to $40,000, you made the same as buying, $20,000 worth of Ripple, and Ripple going from 30 cents to 60 cents. Your investment doubled. There's no difference. But people don't seem to understand that. So just keep that in mind. Don't be very afraid. This recent bear market, people are saying it was the worst bear market of all time in the crypto space. Not the case at all. It's just normal, in my opinion. This has happened time and time again. They look very small here, but if you really analyze these and look back, they're exactly the same patterns. This is just, to me, in my opinion, another bear market. If you've sold, I would get back in if I were you, just my opinion. If you've held strongly, and I would continue to hold, and we're starting to see a glimmer of hope. And believe me, it's good to see some green, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking the same. So this is kind of my opinion. Just buy now if you're willing to do so, and you will feel so much better. And you got in at $8,000. Maybe, there are a lot of people who are probably getting in at $50, $60, $40, $20,000, and you have gotten at $8,000. You still got a price more than 50% of what it was back in December 2017. You got over a 50+% discount on your Bitcoin. Pretty good. And you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. Just buy whatever amount you feel comfortable with. But I really recommend, it's one of those things where you get in early on a technology that nobody else believes in. It's like buying Amazon now. If you bought Amazon now, it's just probably not a bad investment, but it's kind of reached its all-time high. It's having some volatility. You know, the market's kind of on a 10-year bull run, which is unprecedented, and I didn't expect it to last this long. But Amazon's kind of been around for like 20, 30 years. So, and you can still probably make a decent profit off it, but, you know, it could go higher. Who knows? But it's not going to have extreme multipliers like something like this, or like a Ripple or a Cardano. These are very, very early projects. We're only 5 years in, I think 6 or 7 years into Ripple. And Ripple just started being established even more so. So, oops, low battery there. But you get my point. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I really recommend purchasing, and you'll feel so much better and when you finally bought. And trust me, because I feel the same way. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the video. If you have any other suggestions of videos I can make to help you guys out, I have a lot more coming. So thank you so much, guys, and have a great night.